Hello, I'm David Hughes. Welcome to Your Perfect Body, the podcast of the Esoteric Teaching Community. Today's selection is an essay entitled, "It Takes a Community." Attaining the ultimate state of self-realization requires a supportive community. No one can do it alone, in isolation, or without help. One who attains complete self-realization becomes fully independent, but we require a community's support throughout most of the stages on the path. The most important spiritual relationship is, of course, between the disciple and the master teacher. Tad vidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarsinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Bhagavad Gita 4:34. So Krishna is the original spiritual master, and all other bona fide spiritual masters are following him through the process of disciplic succession. Evang parampara praptang ijang rajarshayo viduhu. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. Bhagavad Gita 4:2. However, even though one may have a relationship with a bona fide spiritual master teacher who is an initiate of the Vedic disciplic succession, one must still be a member of a spiritual community to get the full benefit of the esoteric teaching. Utsahan nishchayad dhairyat tat karma pravartanat Sangha tyaga sato vrite sadbhir bhakti prasiddhyati. The process of bhakti yoga can be executed successfully with full-hearted enthusiasm, perseverance, and determination by following the prescribed duties in the association of devotees and by engaging completely in activities of goodness. Sri Upadeshamrita 3. Association is very important. It is said, a man is known by the company he keeps. And this is especially true when it comes to spiritual life. More than any other single factor, the association we accept practically determines the spiritual advancement and destination we can attain in this life. Therefore, the students of the esoteric teaching gather in communities, whether in cyberspace, in small study groups, or in full-time residential communities, to cultivate spiritual life in favorable association. The association and support of like-minded persons is critical to achieving spiritual success, especially now that the soul-denying materialistic ontology has become the dominant social paradigm in most of the world, even in India. I am very fortunate to be a senior member of a large rural spiritual community where there is very good facility for developing spiritual consciousness under the guidance of the esoteric teaching. And my community is affiliated with the largest and most influential international Vedic society. So I am very fortunate to be so well situated. But many of you are working alone, and I am concerned that you may become discouraged or deviated from the path of the esoteric teaching by materialistic association. A single small stick may easily be broken, but when many such sticks are tied together in a bundle, no one can break them. Similarly, when we are trying to make spiritual advancement by ourselves, we are vulnerable. But when we cooperate together, we find strength in numbers. This is the central principle of spiritual community. Therefore, I encourage all my students to develop communities to study the esoteric teaching in small local groups. This will help you and others make more rapid advancement on the path of the esoteric teaching. Anyone who wants to start such a group in their area can get all the information needed at the Bhakti Vriksha site. The link is in the text of the blog post. And you can also log on to the Esoteric Teaching Forum and leave a message on the group facilitation conference. So I'm sitting here in front of my computer recording this presentation. And the sun is rising over a beautiful oak tree outside my window. And my little cottage in the woods is cozy and warm. It made it through Hurricane Katrina without a scratch. Just a couple of 100 yards away down a nice little dirt road is a beautiful temple with all the facilities for cultivating the esoteric teaching. Every Sunday, we have a nice festival. Many people come from the surrounding communities. And we chant, dance, have nice class. Sometimes I give class, and I think I'm going to start recording those classes and posting them here. And in the surrounding area, we have maybe 50 or 60 people who are all involved, engaged in studying the esoteric teaching. I helped found this community back in 1974, and we are one of the few American spiritual communities from that era that's still functional. We have about 150 cows. We have a large garden, 3-acre garden. We have lots and lots of woodlands, open fields, pasture lands, wheat fields, so many facilities for country life, even a school, and mostly we have lots of peace and quiet. And this is what's required for real spiritual life, for going deep into meditation. And also good association. My colleague, who is the president of the temple here, we've been friends since the 70s. I went to India for a long time, didn't see him for 20 years. But when I came back here, it was just like I'd never left. He made me feel right at home. So that's a real friend. You don't find this kind of friendship often in the material world. And it comes about because of community, because we have a solid base for our association, a spiritual base. The basis of our association is, of course, the esoteric teaching. And without that, this diverse group of individuals would never be able to cooperate together well enough to run a huge farm community out in the middle of nowhere. What to speak of surviving a major hurricane and so many other tests that we've been through. And you may say, oh, well, this guy's got it made. He's got it all sewn up. He's got it in the bag. It sounds like that, but believe me, I've been through a lot of hard knocks myself. And that's one of the reasons why I value this community so much. It's very difficult to be out in the world where everything is run by money, where everybody's idea of who's important and who's influential is based on material conception of life. It's very difficult to go against that and try to cultivate a different ontology, to try to maintain any kind of spiritual standards. Very difficult. I know, I've been there. I've been the single, loner out there in the middle of the materialistic society trying to make it, and it's very difficult. Therefore, I encourage all my students, everyone who's listening to this blog, to create a small group, even if it's only 2 or 3 of you. We have all the materials available on how to manage such a group that you can make it successful. And within 6 months to a year, your group will double and double in size again. And you'll be able to have a lively, supportive, encouraging association in your local area. You don't have to come here, although you can.